Hey, what's up guys? Let's talk about film. So I wanted to make this video because when I started film photography, I felt really overwhelmed with the whole thing which is going on about the cameras, the film stocks, the ISO and whatsoever. So here are a few things I wish I would have known earlier. And yeah, one of the most important things is failure is part of the journey. You will fail eventually, especially when you're starting shooting film. I wasted when I got my Mamiya RB67, I wasted like the first 3 rolls because I thought the camera was broken, but eventually I only had a mistake in the settings of the lens of the camera, and I was so sad at first, and then I was even happier when it worked. So especially when you're shooting film, it doesn't matter if it's medium format or 35mm or even Polaroid or something else. Failure will be part of the journey, and it's important to learn from your mistakes and figure out why the mistakes happened, especially when it comes to exposing pictures right, or even put the right settings onto your camera, because every camera is different and you gotta get it going. You have to practice with the camera and fail. The second thing is, shooting film can be expensive. Right now, Kodak just announced that at the end of March, I think, they will continue the price rise above 30% again. And for me personally, it is really expensive, and I think I will continue shooting more black and white because brands like Ilford or Candmere, they have good film stocks for a much more reasonable price than Kodak. I think a RAW of Portra 400 is like 17 euros or so, and with development and everything for I don't know 11 euros or so, it can really get pricey. But exactly that leads me to the next point. Enjoy the process of shooting film. The process of shooting film and taking your time to figure out what to shoot, when to shoot it, in which light settings, and maybe how you're gonna shoot it and the composition, everything. That's the great thing about film photography. And when I started, I was just like, oh, I want to take pictures with a pointed shoot and just shoot with the flash to get the look of the vintage camera. That's not the whole point. There is so much more to the beauty of film photography. It really slows you down. I really enjoy the slow process of shooting film, especially when you have to wait for development or when you're developing it at home and scanning at home. It gives shooting film or everything a much more to it than just taking pictures, especially when you're used to taking pictures with your phone. So I would encourage you to try out shooting film. A film camera today is not really expensive. You can get one for 20 euros off eBay and just start. And so the next thing is, every film reacts different to different light. So for example, when you have a 50 ISO film, it obviously needs less light than when you're shooting an 800 ISO film. But when I first started, I just put the Kodak Go to 100 into my point and shoot camera and start running around and trying to shoot pictures. And did my mistakes because I haven't fully understood how the camera works and how important the ISO is to film. Especially when you're using point and shoot cameras, it's important to have a high ISO so you can get still good exposure and the pictures will look good. Especially when you're buying point and shoot cameras, you have to think about that the autofocus is not always the best. And the autofocus will fail eventually, and you will be upset about it when it happens, but it will happen. So you have to kind of think about the benefits of a point and shoot camera and the benefits of a SLR when you have manual focus and have the control over everything you do. And just see what it's better for you. Another thing which is really important, which I wish I would have known earlier, is the camera basically doesn't matter. So you don't need a great camera, you don't need a Leica M6 or a Hasselblad 500C to take good pictures. I think when you're really good at photography, you can turn every camera into a good picture. So you can utilize every camera to take a good picture, because it's not about the gear, it's about the eye you have and the thing, how you view things and how you capture them. So don't make yourself upset if you don't own the best camera. Also, I mean, I'm still using really beginner friendly film cameras, and I still enjoy them so much, and I feel like I'm taking